not to cut you off, ma'am, but that foster care is not my fault.
Yeah, it is.
So how is it my fault when?
Because you were in prison.
I was in prison because of possession charge,
Yes.
but I wasn't using.
Okay, so here's the thing.
And then this time I was, ma'am. I really was.
All right, let me ask you this.
And I'm going to classes for this stuff.
Oh, no, she can continue. All right, I understand. But here's the thing. I've done CPS cases before as a defense attorney. And when clients would tell me, hey, it's not my fault, my child is in care, I've been at the prison, somebody else should have been doing that. But when children are brought into this world, you know who's responsible for them? The mother, the father.
Enjoy the video. Hit the like button.
State of Texas versus Betty Jean Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett.
Suzanne Kramer for Miss Gonzalez.
And are you Miss Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everyone, while we're on the record, if you all could not talk in the box. Okay. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Well, yes, Your Honor, but we're waiving count 1 and waiving count 3, proceeding on count 2 alone.
No objection.
Ms. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just in reference to any possibility that you might hold her pending the TAP evaluation, she can probably speak to this better than I, but in the interim since this happened, she has cut ties with all of those people. Additionally, she lost her son, so she's now the caretaker of her grandchild, and she has a job. And so the longer she sits in jail, the more likely she might lose that job. She's been doing very well, other than there was an FTA on her, which I don't remember there being an FTA, so I'm not really sure why she was on bond and got taken back into custody. But she understands that if you release her today, she must go in to get the TAP evaluation, and failing to do so you would issue another warrant.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 42, ma'am.
How many children do you have?
I have 3,
What are their ages?
20, 18, and 16.
And how old is this grandchild that your attorney was speaking of?
Grandbaby's just gonna come through. It's on still with the baby. She's still pregnant with the baby.
Okay. Who's with your 16-year-old?
A 16-year-old's in foster care right now. I'm fighting for her to come home.
Okay, so there is a CPS case.
No, it's not a CPS case. When I was in prison this last time, my dad had custody of my baby, and CPS case was on my ex-husband because he mistreated her. So I've been fighting for her to come back home to me, but because she's in another state, and I've been doing it through the phone, talking to the courts over the phone and fighting for my child like that way.
When's the last time you had employment before you were in custody?
I'm sorry?
When is the last time you had employment before you were taken into custody?
When was you have a job?
Oh, I have a job right now. I work at Burlington, ma'am. It took me 2 weeks to fight to get into this job.
And these other people you were with, how do you know them?
They were a street family. I just cut them off.
Wait a minute, what?
It was like a street family, something by myself.
A street family?
A street family. Like, I don't talk to my blood family because they were putting me in the bed. So I cut ties to my own blood family, and I grew on to the street family, but I cut ties to them too because they were putting me in the bed as well. I just chose to do better for myself.
Where are you
I'm gonna be a
from?
Grandmother.
Where
I'm from
you-
here, ma'am. I just got ties to my whole family just so I could better my life.
Is there any gang affiliation? See, I'm trying to figure out, how did you come to be with two other people who obviously everybody has drugs, there are guns in the car.
One's my brother and the other one's my cousin. That's why I'm cutting ties to my own
Okay,
family.
so you were saying that this is your street family, so now I'm hearing these are blood
The
relatives?
ones, my co-defendants were my blood family. My street family that I was living with, I cut ties to them because they started to use drugs and I'm trying to get away from it because I want to live for my better for my grandchild and try and get my baby back.
All right, so
That's the reason why I
what drugs
got
have you
that.
been using?
I've been using methamphetamines, but I'm sober. Prior to coming in for this warrant, I was already sober for a week and a half. I cut ties from doing drugs. I'm even signing up to go to be a substance abuse counselor as well, man.
All right. So what's her criminal history like? What's your criminal history?
My criminal history
Yes.
is possession, ma'am.
Have you been to prison before?
Yes, ma'am.
State jail, Your Honor.
State jail
For what?
for possession.
All right. So what drugs have you used other than meth?
Marijuana.
And what else?
That's it, ma'am.
Well, in this police report, it says that y'all had Xanax in a cooler.
That happened to me.
All right. How long would it be to get a TAP evaluation while in custody?
2 weeks.
I'm going to need a TAP evaluation.
I'm just really afraid this job that she has at Burlington won't last that long. And she knows that if she doesn't show up to probation to do the tap, that you're going to issue a warrant. She'll be right back in
No,
jail.
I mean, she may need inpatient treatment. That's why, I mean, I don't know. But it's obvious to me she has major drug issues. And the fact that she has a child that's in foster care,
But
in
that-
which state?
Not to cut you off, ma'am, but that foster care is not my fault.
Yeah, it is.
How is it my fault when?
Because
I
you
gave
were
my-
in
my
prison.
I was in prison because of possession charge,
Yes.
but I wasn't using.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Then this time I was, ma'am. I really
All right,
was.
let me ask you
using it,
this.
And I'm going to classes for this stuff.
Oh, no, she can continue. All right, I understand. But here's the thing. I've done CPS cases before as a defense attorney. And when clients would tell me, hey, it's not my fault, my child is in care, I've been at the prison, somebody else should have been doing that. But when children are brought into this world, you know who's responsible for them? The mother, the father. Those are the people responsible. And a lot of people think that grandparents are responsible, but grandparents are not really responsible. Sometimes they step up and say, I'll do this, but that's not their job. So if your child is under CPS care while you were in prison, that's partially your fault because you should have been there. You were not there. You were at the prison for possession. I understand about the Burlington job. I really do, but you're not going to be any help to your grandchild until you get help with your own drug problem. And I can tell you right now, if Child Protective Services is doing their job, they are not going to allow you around your grandchild until you get your life together. And being drug-free for 2 weeks on meth is not a long time. That's not even enough to start a habit of not using.
Man, what I just started using, that's why I got off of it.
All right, so you say the TAP evaluation can be done in 2 weeks? All right, so one, they say you don't meet the criteria, and two, you have a history of drug selling. So I'm going to follow the agreement that you reach with the state. Court is calling 2022 CR 9686B, State of Texas versus Betty Jean Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Suzanne Kramer, Ms. Gonzalez.
All right, and are you Betty Jean Gonzalez? All right, on January 12th, you entered a plea to count 2. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court found you guilty. The state waived count 1 and count 3 without objection. According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment was to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. The state is recommending community supervision, $2,500 fine, and of course, the standard conditions. All right. Is there anything you wish to say? All right. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. How many children do you have? I'm sorry?
3,
What are their ages?
20, 18, and 16.
And where's the 16-year-old and 18-year-old living?
So my 18-year-old has her own place. My 16-year-old is with her foster family.
With who?
Foster family.
And who is Raul Hinojosa to you?
That's my older brother.
And who is well, you say your little brother. How old is he?
Raul also my older brother.
Oh, that's your older brother?
Yeah.
All right. And who is Valdemar Hinojosa?
That's my cousin.
And when you're released, where are you going to be living?
Oh, with Myra meets.
I'm sorry,
With Myra meets.
who is that?
He's like next street mom, she's a friend of mine. He's a real good friend of mine.
What do you mean she's like your street mom?
Yeah, I look up to her. She's my mom.
What does she do for a living?
Huh?
What
Sorry,
does she do for a living?
she's retired now. She's just a housewife.
All right. And does she, I don't even know who this person is. Does anybody know who this person is?
This is the first I'm hearing of it. In terms of where she would live, I don't know if probation asked her that or not.
All right. So here's the thing. I have an issue with somebody saying they're going to live with their street mom. I don't know anything about her.
That's fine.
So you're not going to be able to live there until I get more information, until probation is able to go out there. So she's going to have to live at Haven for Hope or somewhere else. All right, this is what the court is going to do.
Yeah.
The court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years, $2,500 fine. That'll be probated. There is a $57 restitution to SAPD for laboratory testing. Regular UAs. Well, no, we're going to do the UA hotline. And she needs to be tested at least once a week, and that's until further notice. 200 hours of community service restitution, 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. Parenting classes, once you complete parenting classes, the remaining hours will be waived. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month until further notice. And what is your street mother's name?
Myra meets.
Could you spell the last name?
MINX.
M-I-N-X, Judge. Myra, M-Y-R-A.
Yeah, MARA.
You have a phone number?
Myra Minx, M-I-N-X.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so you're not allowed to reside with Myra Minx until that place is reviewed by probation, until we review her criminal history. You are not allowed to have contact. There's been no contact with Raul Hinojosa and Valdemar Hinojosa Jr. Probation, is there any, I'm sorry, outpatient treatment with probation? Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor, is that supportive or intensive?
Supported.
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
That's fine.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. You're gonna have to do better.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Maybe be excused.
Yes.